From Recorded Future News and PRX, this is Click Here. Last September, a white SUV with tinted windows rolled through San Diego. It was ICE, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, driving around in circles looking for people to arrest. And just a few car lengths behind that SUV was an activist on patrol.
Al tanto que tenemos presencia de ICE en Barrio Logan, San Diego, California.
It's perfectly legal to observe law enforcement, so long as you don't interfere. And when ICE started casting a shadow over Southern California's immigrant communities, activists began doing just that, watching the watchers.
Ocean View and 30th at this particular point, over. Así que cuidado, raza. Si...
Social media pages popped up. Signal groups multiplied. Coders built digital tools to track ICE's movements. And when the government cracked down on those apps, many of the watchers went back to basics: walkie-talkies, word of mouth, and the kind of neighborhood watch that feels straight out of another era. I'm Dina Temple-Raston, and this is Click Here. We tell true stories about the people making and breaking our digital world. On Tuesday, we brought you the story of IceBlock, an app that went viral before Apple took it down under pressure from the Trump administration. Today, we continue that story with Francisco Chavo Romero, an activist in Southern California who's been on the front lines tracking ICE the old-fashioned way, through a hotline and neighborhood patrols.
As the call comes in, we try not to miss it. Like, we actually pick up because it could be a matter of saving somebody from getting captured that day, right?
Francisco takes us inside a scrappy volunteer operation keeping tabs on ICE and explains what it's like to do that, knowing that feds could knock on your door at any moment, no matter how careful you might be to stay on the right side of the law. Stay with us. Francisco Chavo Romero works with Union del Barrio in LA, an all-volunteer immigrant advocacy group. While they do use digital tools, the backbone of their operation is more retro than that. They run hotlines, phone trees, and a network of people on the ground, all working together to watch the watchers. These are grassroots operations, like what we've been seeing in Minneapolis in recent weeks.
As the call comes in, we try not to miss it. Like, we actually pick up because it could be a matter of saving somebody from getting captured that day, right?
Francisco's family immigrated from Mexico in the 1970s, and he was born on the U.S. side.
I consider myself a Chicano Mexicano with U.S. citizenship.
That status gives him a certain protection and, he says, a responsibility.
Having that citizenship, it is my duty to take it to the next level where people can't. We get people that come up to us and they say, "Hey, thank you so much for what you're doing for us." Right? I wish I could go out there, but I don't have papers. I'm so sorry, but I really appreciate you. Thank you for stepping in and taking those risks.
Those risks play out every night these days on the evening news. You've seen them. Armored vehicles, tactical gear, early morning knocks.
It's a brutal spectacle, really designed to utilize actually the media to really showcase the terror, right? And try to instill that into the bones of the people that are out here.
Which is where Union del Barrio, Francisco's volunteer patrol group, comes in. They're awake before sunrise, scanning tips, checking messages, coordinating across Southern California. They're a sort of community-run early warning system. They don't hide from raids, they head toward them.
We go super early in the morning, usually between 5 a.m. to 8 a.m., and we look for what we call the staging of the operations before they launch.
They've trained neighbors to spot the signs, the clustered SUVs, the same unmarked sedans, cars idling at odd hours. And when people see something, they reach out.
They see something. Hey, there's multiple vehicles at the park down the street. They look suspicious. Can you guys come? They either message us on the social media or they call us directly to our hotline.
Someone from the organization will go out, and once they spot federal agents, they follow them.
La 31 y la Franklin estaba parado este
They
vehículo.
track the convoy until the raid begins or until the agents leave empty-handed. And sometimes they'll walk straight up and ask questions.
We'll say things to them as well. I mean, I go up to their windows, I knock on their windows, say, hey, how you doing, officer? What agency are you? And they're like, whoa, who are you?
As long as they're just observing and not interfering, it's completely legal. And, Francisco insists, constitutional.
In every training that we do, we say, don't give them the reason for them to have you arrested.
They're just documenting immigration enforcement activity. And in certain situations, they'll protest.
We reserve the right to protest. So if you're coming down, we're going to be here, right? So we're organized block by block, neighborhood by neighborhood. We have a long way to go, but that's what we're doing. And essentially, that's really what's going to save us, I think.
When we come back, Francisco on paranoia, drones, and the fine line between vigilance and fear. Stay with us. Union Del Barrio's patrols didn't start with Trump. They actually date back to the Obama years, and even before.
Rest assured that detentions and deportations have been occurring nearly at the same levels under Biden, under Obama, right? Under Trump one, right? Under Bush, right? Like we're going back under Clinton. But what occurred is that during the Obama era, or even under Bush, the approach was more traditional in the sense that it was more focused on like folks that were already captured and in jail. We call it the velvet glove or the iron fist, right? So right now we're dealing with mano dura in Spanish. That's the iron fist approach, where it's just openly just brutal. The tactics, it's really militarized visually, but also in the way they actually roll out their operations, even calling everything an operation, right?
Big developing story today. It's a new operation by federal agents beginning here in the Chicago area.
ICE recently conducted a raid in Chicago called Operation Midway Blitz. Among other things, agents rappelled down from Black Hawk helicopters to raid an apartment complex in the city's South Shore neighborhood.
In the dark and early 5 o'clock hour, neighbors who live near Chippewa Drive heard helicopters flying above and saw a flurry of armored vehicles blocking their streets.
Did it surprise you that it became so militarized so fast, or did you kind of know that was going to happen?
Well, we were preparing for the worst. And so we were not surprised. So for 3 weeks, we did trainings and got hundreds and hundreds of people organized and ready. And so we were not caught off guard. We thought we were prepared as best as we could with the humble means that we have at our disposal.
But defiance comes with risk because while they're watching ICE, ICE may be watching them.
So you're tracking ICE. How do you make sure that you aren't being tracked by them?
Well, the way we operate is under the assumption that we're being monitored at all times, period. And if we walk around with being afraid and paranoid, then the reign of terror has worked. So we are not afraid. We're organized. We're ensuring that we're doing everything within the markers of what is legal, right? And constitutionally protected. Again,
He says
keeping everyone
drones pass
protected from
overhead,
left.
unmarked
We're
cars idle in their
and
neighborhoods.
and we also know that there may be a time where they're going to try to bulk us all into these categories, right? Domestic terrorists, uh, enemy combatants. Like they're going to start using war terminology to pin us to, hey, they're Mexicans. They migrated from Sinaloa. They're probably tied to the narco cartels, right? They're going to try to pin those labels on us.
And in fact, Union Del Barrio and other advocacy organizations objecting to the ICE raids have received a letter from Senator Josh Hawley. threatening to investigate whether they were bankrolling civil unrest.
And there may be one day where they're going to come banging on our doors and going to take us in. I personally, and all our members, we are preparing mentally, physically, spiritually to be ready to be behind bars at one point.
But for Francisco, the cost doesn't outweigh the mission. The way he sees it, community watch isn't the alternative, it's the counterweight. In immigrant neighborhoods across the country, people live under a constant watch. Raids before dawn, unmarked cars that never quite leave, the faint chatter of a radio 2 blocks away. They share what they see, they warn each other, and little by little they claw back a measure of control, even if it's just knowing what's coming before it arrives. For years, that kind of organizing has been playing out in places like Los Angeles. But now we're seeing it happen in Minneapolis too. Neighbors swapping tips, tracking vehicles, posting alerts in real time, even filming ICE. Different city, same playbook. This is Click Here. Click Here is a production of Recorded Future News and PRX. Today's show was written and produced by Megan Dietrich, Sean Powers, Erica Gaida, and Zach Hirsch. It was edited by Karen Duffin and Lou Olkowski, and fact-checked by Darren Ankrum. Original music is by Ben Livingston, with additional music from Blue Dot Sessions. Our staff writer is Lucas Riley, and our illustrator is Megan Goff. Jesse Neiswanger and Jake Cook are our sound designers and engineers. Find us on X or Facebook at Click Here Show, or leave us a voice message at 661-5CH-TALK. Sometimes we'll turn those moments into reporting, sometimes into a conversation, and sometimes into a future story you'll hear on this show. We'll be back on Tuesday with an all-new episode of Click Here. Have a great weekend.